Hello, my name is David DeSanto. I'm the Director of Product for the Secure and Defend section. Today we're going to do a preview of the group conversation occurring on September 17th. So in 2 days from the time we're making this recording. Before we get going too far into the group conversation, I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge what is happening within the United States right now. The Secure and Defend team's heart go out to everyone who's impacted by the wildfires. Here are screenshots from space of what that looks like and what's happening inside the country. Learn more about how you can help out people who are impacted by going to the Red Cross website or any nonprofit disaster relief organization of your choice. We're going to first start off with the secure stage. As a reminder, the secure stage is focused on identifying vulnerabilities and weaknesses to minimize your risk. We've had a lot of great releases over the last couple of months since our last group conversation. Some things I'd like to highlight for you include DAST on-demand scanning, extending the security dashboard for the project, rolling out our coverage-guided fuzzing, all very exciting things that have come out recently. We also have a very packed couple of releases coming up. This includes the continued redesign of the security dashboards and the vulnerability report, rolling out API fuzzing MVC, as well as getting the things such as improving the MR experience, UI configurations, additional language support. Lots of very exciting things coming out. We recently spoke at the virtual commit about fuzzing. So if you want to learn more about fuzzing, why it should be used and the value it provides to you, feel free to go watch the replay of the presentation. Fuzz testing is continuing to mature. API fuzzing support is coming out in 13.4. I wanted to quickly highlight the fact that we are actually seeing growth within our MAL reporting already. Within the 1 month or so since its launch, we already have 30 concurrent users, monthly users, which is very exciting for something that's brand new and we're just beginning to position. Included in that is one of our customers, Arctic Engine, who enabled fuzzing and was able to find a lot of defects that have been there for a while that they were unaware of. The example there on the screen, the coverage-guided fuzz testing engine generated a WAV file that was 2 hours long with 1 sample per second. That's not something a human would create. And that ended up expanding in memory of their WAV processing component of their engine to 48 gigs and led to a crash of the engine. They were thrilled by these findings. They're continuing to roll out more and more coverage using this new category. I mentioned a couple minutes ago the improvements to the project level dashboard. Here's a screenshot of it. There's lots of great information on it today. It includes everything down to the line number, any public references to the vulnerability, which scanner it is, and currently the state of it. And that includes, as you can see there, we now see it's remediated and we're asking for the user to validate that it is indeed remediated. We've talked a lot about our themes over the last several calls. We've changed those really being strategic objectives and they're supported by themes. The first one we've already completed, which is our offline environment support. Our application security testing leadership goal, we're behind on a couple of months. This does not mean that we're not delivering value as you're seeing. It just means that it's taking us a little bit longer than we expected because we have very lofty goals as we do across all of the product teams here at GitLab. And finally, secure dog fooding. That is now rolled out, as we talked about last time, within the security team. And then Todd and Wayne's teams are now dog fooding Todd's sections components within their development lifecycle. We'll both touch on that in a little bit as we get to the sub-department updates. Just as a touch base here, here's all the information of what we're including in that application security testing leadership. One thing that kind of goes unnoticed, but is worth calling out, the engineering teams are doing a very good job burning down their backlog of customer-related defects. Here you can see the monthly report for the SCA team and how they've had 0 P1S1 bugs for the majority of this year, with the exception of 1 month. We recently did our secure stage strategy review. You can check that out on YouTube at the link that's provided below. And to kind of wrap up the secure side, I think it's very worth noting that we're beginning to blur that line between dev, sec, and ops. And we're doing that by taking what we've built for the developer and making it available to run within the production environment. Today, that's DAST, and you can see there on the screenshot what DAST looks like when you're running an on-demand scan. And the team's beginning to bring in things like container scanning, so you can scan containers you're putting in your registry that you're not necessarily building with GitLab. To switch over to Defend, Defend's focus is protecting cloud-native applications, services, and infrastructure. And this is a very new category or a very new stage for us, but there are exciting things going on. The two strategic objectives set for this year, one is focusing on usability and convention over configuration. And we actually shipped our first policy manager, and 13.4 has some really great, exciting updates to that. The next one is visibility first, protection second. We are working on integrating in alerts and other types of management components. So we're a little bit behind on where we would like to be. However, it is worth noting that you can actually take those logs and export them out to an external SIEM and be able to get that visibility you're looking for. And that kind of ties into recent things that have come out and things that we have planned. Just mentioned the policy management UI, shipped a couple of releases ago. Container host security reached minimal maturity, which is also very exciting. And then what we have coming up is the ability to begin to edit, create, delete policies that you want applied to your Kubernetes environment. Again, we had a talk at Commit, a very great presentation from two of our own, Wayne, Philippe is our distinguished engineer, and one of our customers, Nico. They basically went and attacked the Kubernetes environment and showed how Defend provide value. And then Nico followed up with a blog on it. If you haven't seen it, it's an amazing video to watch. And Wayne, is there anything you want to add about the presentation in general?
No, it's great stuff. The other thing to add is Tiago, also on the team, did a blog post on related topics, mapping the Defend and actually some of the secure features to the MITRE ATT&CK matrix, which is pretty interesting.
That blog is really good too, so definitely check that out. Just like secure, we had a recent Defend stage strategy review. The information is here on the slide, so you can check it out as well. And with that, I'll hand it over to Todd and Wayne.
All right, thanks, David. For the engineering OKRs for this quarter, we are on target for the first one, which is increasing throughput by 10% on the rolling average. For the say-do ratio, we are at 83% for 13.3, actually a little bit higher than what we were targeting, and it's just coming down to having to work with the teams to help them go for more stretch goals, basically. Next slide, please, David. There we go. Okay, and then the third OKR is around dogfooding secure. We've already had a bunch of great discoveries in using the security dashboards and what have you. Of course, with dogfooding, there's always going to be some mistakes made and things we did wrong, which we were able to quickly readjust. But it also led to putting in more issues for safeguards and things of that nature. And I believe for the secure OKRs and metrics, that is it. Then going into what's going well, having some great cross-team collaboration. The WIP limits on issues is really helping the static analysis team get more velocity. And then of course the YAML-based feature flag is super handy, and that's, thank you. And moving to the next slide here. Oh, there we go. For what can be improved, the downstream pipeline approach for QA doesn't scale well, and we've got a retro topic and issues on that. The deployment process timeline and how to abort one is not clear, and then the fewer dash jobs running, and we didn't notice it quickly. For actions, we're going to prioritize the QA expectations with the corresponding analyzers, and then investigate our product metrics ability to raise alerts and validate the data source and logic.
So thanks, Todd. So for threat management subdepartment, in terms of OKRs, we're dogfooding the secure scanners and security approvals and the dashboards, which my team is responsible for the dashboards. On the threat management projects as well, we've got 1 on 5 projects completed, and it's on track. Very similar feedback and insight as what Todd's team has found with what they've been doing. We also have goals around using pajamas components, and we're on track for those. In terms of expanding the capabilities of the team, we wanted to raise the team MR per team member, GitLab team member rate to greater than 8. We're pretty close on that at 7 and change. That's going in the right direction. We also want the people leaders making contributions to the product itself. So either to the product or the documentation, not the handbook. That's important, but separate. And we're close to being on track with that. We're also bringing more things to iteration office hours and encouraging more community contributions. So we're doing more office hours there, and we've seen a significant increase in community contributions to the threat management portion of the code base, which is great. In terms of what went well in the recent releases, we really learned quite well how to use Sentry properly to detect and fix errors, whether customers have noticed them or not, which we weren't fully versed on. So we were able to use that, learn about that, and use that to find problems and fix them before customers notice them, which is great. In terms of what didn't go well, we had a security issue that we were working on, reported via HackerOne, where we missed the SLO for it, which was not a big deal because we were just a little bit late, and we informed the security researcher of the time frame, and we didn't make it public until it was the fix was available to customers. But we wanted to get better at meeting those SLOs, so it's not as straightforward as a process or as easy to follow as we'd like. So now we know how to do it, and we're going to use this concept of a buddy system when we get the next one. And lastly, what can be improved upon is self-contained issue descriptions. We have details in sub-issues that don't always take the enough of the detail from the parent issue. So we want to copy a portion of that and make sure they're always referencing so that developers always know what the details are on what they're planning to work on and the why they're working on it.
Thanks, Wayne and Todd.
And I'll cover the last one here, unless you want to, Dave. Sorry. We're doing an experiment where we have people on secure and in threat management working on secure and defend stages. And we wanted to be able to have people do internships where we swap people between teams if they're interested in doing so they get to try out the other team. And I don't think we have any in flight just yet, but it's an interesting experiment. Anything to add on that, David or Todd?
Yeah, so we actually just had someone complete the internship related to product for secure and defend. That went very well. There's information available here on the slide. Included connecting upstream dependencies that we have to build the secure and defend features are now being scanned by secure and reporting in issues that they can fix prior to us picking up the package downstream. So very exciting. And with that, it is International Talk Like a Pirate Day is coming up this Saturday.
Yarr!
Exactly, matey. So we want you to take a moment to just have a little bit of fun with everything that's going on in the world today, have a little bit of a break. And of course, there's lots of other pirate puns we could be using right now, but we're going to save you that pain. But thank you very much for watching the video. We look forward to answering your questions on Thursday, and enjoy International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Thank you.